Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 3 of the From the Parking Lot podcast. I'm Sean Bach. Joined alongside me is Tyler Calvaruso. Tyler, how was your Easter weekend, my man?
It was good, man. Chilling. Got to see some pretty solid Final Four games. What about you?
It was great. Good time with the family, and like you said, great college basketball on. Really fun weekend. A lot of good storylines. This is not gonna be a very long podcast. We decided to keep it short for you guys. Didn't want to bore you with our analysis, so we'll keep it short. We'll get into the Final Four, some of the games from Saturday, but first we're gonna talk about Darius Bazley. 5-star recruit, top 10 player in the 2018 class out of Princeton, Ohio, who was committed to Syracuse. Everything seemed set in stone. McDonald's All-American game. He seemed ready to get to Cuse, and boom, out of nowhere on Thursday, Shams from Yahoo Sports comes out with the report saying he's going to the G League. Kind of surprising reaction, or kind of surprising news. Really, at the McDonald's game, he was talking about Syracuse, talking very highly of them. And then just out of nowhere, this report comes out, and it's kind of shocking because, Andrew Slater, who is one of the recruiting guys at the Athletic, tweeted out something that this has been the works for a while, but no one really knew about it. So I think it's interesting to see that. Even Jim Boeheim didn't even know about it. So it's a really interesting case. I feel like there's a lot more to it than we really know. So Tyler, what do you think of this whole situation?
Like you said, it caught me and a lot of other people off guard. It's a questionable decision. It's hard to fault the kid given, he wants to make some cash. I don't know what kind of financial background he comes from, but if there's a desire to make some quick cash, help your family out, you can't fault the kid for that at all. But, there's something to be said about the developmental aspect of going straight to the G League as opposed to going to Syracuse. That's not to say G League staff will not be able to develop him because obviously those are professionals. They know exactly what they're doing. But for as much crap as Jim Boeheim gets from certain people, he's one hell of a coach. He's done a great job developing some guys. So I guess he felt that along with the money being developed in a G League setting with a professional coach is more beneficial to him. But personally, I would have taken a shot playing for Boeheim. He's worked wonders with guys before, and he has the talent. He had the talent to be a real stud for Q's.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Bazley was he would have been the perfect fit for that.
He was going to propel that team to the next step that they were trying to take.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they'd have guys like Tyus Battle and Frank Howard coming back. And unless I'm wrong, I feel like Frank Howard, is he a senior?
I don't believe so. Let me double check that. He is, of course.
No, he's a junior. So Battle and Howard coming back, you'd have your backcourt set, and then you'd have Bazley too, who can do a little bit of everything. I saw him play earlier this year against Romeo Langford in New Albany, and he was just a solid all-around player. Obviously it's tough with a guy against Romeo guarding you and going up against you, but he's a good defender, very long, 6'8", pretty long wingspan. But the thing that shocked me is that he's not even on the ESPN's NBA draft. Latest mock draft for the 2019 year. So I don't know who he is talking to him. Like we said, it could be a money thing, but really, you got to hope the best for the kid, hope that everything works out. But I'm curious to see if this is a common trend among the next group of highly touted recruits. What do you think?
I think it could be something that does become a trend because I think you're going to see more kids coming from less than ideal financial backgrounds who say, look, I need to make some money. I have family I need to help out. And what is going to a college? If the plan is to go to college for 1 year and then dip to the NBA, why not just get a head start on making that money anyway? And that's looking from a straight money perspective. From a basketball perspective, I don't know how many kids are really going to take this into consideration. A lot of kids want to go to college. They want that experience, even if it's just for a year. They want to experience everything that playing in the NCAA brings. And you can't get the experience of playing in the NCAA tournament anywhere else. You can't do it in the G League. So that's something that will definitely play into these kids' decision-making process moving forward. And another thing is, how many of these kids as 18-year-olds really want to play against 26, 27-year-old grown dudes? How is that going to help their progression?
Yeah. Last thing, before we move on, I heard something really interesting this weekend on ESPN College Game Days coverage of the Final Four. John Calipari was on there, and he was saying that his guys at Kentucky, even the guys that went one and done, they'd say they go back to college in a heartbeat and play their freshman season over. They said it was their like the funnest year of their life. Um, Great experience, great guys. There's just nothing. There's just something about that bond that a college teammates have, and it's a shame that Bazley won't be able to experience that. And I think the Syracuse could have been something special. But I mean, it's his life. Got to do what he's got to do. Make some money. Just hope for the best for the kid. But I'm hoping he's not regretting. I hope he turns out to be a great player. But only time will tell. So with that, let's move on to some of the just quick recaps of the Final Four games this weekend. Starting with Michigan Loyola. The Sister Jean, her magic's over. She gave up losing for Lent, and Lent ended on Thursday, so I guess she's back to losing. But I mean, Loyola looked strong throughout the first half. I know in the second half they stretched the lead to at least 10 twice, but there was just a stretch of 5 possessions that looked absolutely horrendous.
Gas
And
lost.
yeah, that's just where they just got out of their playing style, just lost what they were doing. That what got them there, and Michigan just took over. I mean, Mo Wagner and Michigan, they capitalized on every missed opportunity that the Ramblers had, and they met their fate in the end. So, I mean, overall, for a tournament that yes, there was some upsets, but if there wasn't for Loyola, I think a lot of people would really be just not there wouldn't be as high of an interest in this tournament as there was with the Ramblers and their run and Sister Jean and all that good stuff. So hats off to them. Fantastic run, but Michigan, man, they looked really good, especially in the second half.
Yeah, they were really efficient. They did a good job tiring Loyola out. And we both predicted Michigan was going to win on the basis that both teams play a similar style, and Michigan plays it better and more efficient. And that's what we saw down the stretch. Loyola just ran out of gas. They didn't have enough horses to keep up. And, how can you blame them with Mo Wagner playing the way he played? The guy took over. Something I've never seen out of him before. It was really impressive.
Yeah, that was something else. But the thing that scares me, we're going to get into this when we preview the national championship. But Michigan guards were just flat out bad.
Yeah.
They didn't do a great. I mean, Mo Wagner did much of it, most of the carrying, but Michigan couldn't hit anything from outside. Much of their production was inside with Wagner, and you can. Yes, Loyal's a great team, but sometimes you can afford to have those missed opportunities like Michigan had. But
Do that when
when they,
Jalen.
but when they play Villanova, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, that's definitely. They're going to have to avoid a poor game out of their backcourt. And, frankly, something that's kind of flown under the radar, this Michigan team, they've been kind of questionable other than the Texas A&M game in regards to their backcourt. There's been spotty production. It looks sloppy at times. They've done enough to get by. Obviously, the national title game, they're doing something right. But let's just say it hasn't been because of their guards. They're not where they are now because of their guards. And they're going to have to shore it up because Brunson's going to be all over the place. He's going to be giving it his all as always, and he's going to be a problem for them.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. So with that, let's move on to our the next game, the second game of the night, Villanova, Kansas. Not much you can say about this other than the fact that Villanova was absolutely ridiculous from downtown. They shot 18 of 36 from distance. Eric Pascal was 6 of 6 with 24 points, and then Jalen Brunson had 18 points, and these guys were just nonstop. I think Villanova is the best team in the country, and first, let's say hats off to Kansas. They've had a great NCAA tournament run. Malik Newman really came on. He's going to be a special talent in the next couple of years. The Jayhawks are going to be really good next year. But man, oh man, this game was just all about Villanova. They were just absolutely fantastic.
I've seen it all year with Villanova. Any given night, they have the ability to shoot the lights out. Look what happened. They provided it on a national stage. I mean, all year, any guy on this roster could hurt you. And they all were just bombarding threes like it was nothing. And it was an incredible exhibition to watch. Kansas is a team who, in their own right, when they get hot, they drain threes just like Villanova was. And Villanova just outshot them at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing was, I saw something on Twitter where I was just watching the game too. It's like people rip on the 3-point strategy, but Jay Wright has it down to a science where his guys, like, yes, they're shooting a lot of threes, and yes, that like live by the three, but die by the three, that whole mantra. But his guys, they do such a good job of spacing the floor and making that extra pass. Like I saw so many times when Kansas would do a poor job of closing down shooters. So what Kansas would do would just give them a little pump, and then the Kansas guy would contest a shot, fly past them. Villanova would have a lane to the basket, and guys were forced to help up, so they'd be able to kick it out to another shooter, which really opened up a lot of lanes. And with guys like Villanova has, like Jalen Brunson, Eric Pascal, Mikal Bridges, even Calvin Gillespie, Phil Booth, all them, any of those guys can hurt you on any given night, and they don't need much space to hit a jumper. I mean, Jalen Brunson hit 2 or 3 that he had guys in his eye. 6'1", 6'2", I believe, and it's just absolutely ridiculous to see what they do. This is absolutely phenomenal. Like, it's beautiful basketball to see, where teams tend to play fast and upbeat, have great athletes. Like, yes, athletes, great talent, but they don't play fast, they play quick. It's a big difference for them. They just know how to play so well together, team basketball, and single unit, and not just 5 guys on the floor.
Yeah, I firmly believe that this is Jay Wright's best offensive team in a very long time, if not the best offensive team he's had in his time at Villanova. Just because, like you said, that unselfishness. There's confidence in all 5 guys on the floor to make a shot. Not a single player on that team wants to be the play hero ball and take a shot for themselves when they could get someone a better look. That driving kick is something that really they thrive on. And even when Josh Hart was there, when they were all about the team ball, you didn't see as much driving and kicking. It's just incredible to see the kind of looks that these guys get for themselves with their unselfish play. And a big part of that with the spacing you're talking about is Spellman being able to step out and hit shots. He's been a huge player for them this year. I even watched Spellman have his way with Angel Delgado of all people when he played Seton Hall like it was nothing. And he's going to be a great player down the road for Jay Wright. And you see him already contributing on a veteran team and being an integral part of how their offense functions.
Yeah, even Eric Pascal, I mean, that just makes a huge difference. When he came over from Fordham, I got a text. I'm pretty sure I talked about this in the first episode. I got a text from one of the Pitt guys that said, man, this guy is going to be a great player for Villanova and definitely a key for them in the next couple of years. And look where we are. He was absolutely on fire. They just do such a good job of spreading the floor. And hats off to Jay Wright. He is a great coach. And with that, we're going to transition to a great coaching matchup in itself. Michigan and John Beilein versus Villanova and Jay Wright. This is going to be a heck of a national championship. I'm so excited. Villanova's obviously won they won the national championship 2 years back on a Chris Jenkins buzzer beater. Then Michigan, with their last appearance against Louisville, and we all know what happened with Louisville. So I guess by technicality that Michigan was the national champions that year. But in reality, the Wolverines are looking to get the Big Ten's first national championship since Michigan State in 2000, I believe. Could be wrong about that, but I think this matchup is going to be absolutely fantastic. We talked about a little bit earlier, Michigan's guards have been struggling, and Villanova, like, not just the guards have been thriving, but the whole team's been thriving. And Michigan hasn't really played their best basketball during this tournament. Yes, they're a really good team. Yes, they've had their moments, but overall, Villanova's just looked a lot better, for 40 minutes a game, every game, than Michigan has. So if I had to give a pick, I'd say Villanova for sure. I think it'll be close, and I think John Beilein is a hell of a coach, definitely a top 5, if not top 3, if not the best coach in college basketball at the moment. But I just think he's going to have a strategy that keeps this one close. But I think Villanova, I don't think they'll shoot lights out like they did against Kansas, but I think they're going to have a similar performance to what they did on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go with Nova too, just because I don't see Mo Wagner doing what he did against Loyola with Lamar Spellman guarding him. And I see Michigan's backcourt yet again struggling. Just they're going to be sending waves at them with Brunson, DiVincenzo, Booth. It's just going to be a lot for them to handle. With the way they played this tournament, it's kind of hard to have faith in that group right now.
I mean, yes, I want to ride with my pick of Villanova, but That would just be absolutely incredible to see Michigan somehow pull away this
Oh,
one.
it would be something. Just given, like I said, with how the backcourt struggle. Imagine they turned in the performance that just makes everyone forget about their whole tournament struggles and how far this Michigan team has come with everything this season, winning the Big Ten, having that layoff, coming back with the scares against Houston, and it's just to see them at this point right now is incredible in itself. If they could piece together a national title at Beeline, that would just solidify him as a top 5 coach in college basketball right now.
Yeah, because I mean, I did a podcast at the beginning of the year with Tony Patel's had me on his, and we talked about Michigan, and we really didn't think they had the offensive power that they had last year.
Yeah,
Because I mean, they had Mo Wagner, Zach Irvin, DJ Wilson, all those guys, but this year they didn't really have much coming in other than Wagner, and we really didn't think that some of these other guys would take the next step, like Duncan Robinson and even some guys coming off the bench. I mean, Xavier Simpson, he struggled a little bit on Saturday, but he's been decent. And then Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman has been very good too. He's been probably one of the key players for them. So
yeah, Charles Matthews as well.
yeah, Charles Matthews he's been the difference maker for them. He just does a little bit of everything out there. Great get from Kentucky, Chicago kid. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Chicago matchup. Charles Matthews, Jalen Brunson from Stevenson, then Charles Matthews from St. Rita. That's going to be a lot of fun. A lot at stake. So I think this national championship. I mean, yes, Villanova. I think they'll win, but I'm really just something's telling me that this is going to go down as one of the best of all time.
I hope that's what happens, but in the end, I see Villanova winning by 8. I just have a feeling it's going to be too much for Michigan.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see. I just have a feeling Michigan's going to keep it really close throughout. Because I mean,
You've seen it with the way they play tough. They don't back down. They're definitely going to find a way to keep it close at least 2-minute mark. I think Nova finds a way with some clutch threes down the stretch, puts it away at the foul line.
yeah, because I mean, Michigan, like, yes, they have talented players and stuff, but they can find a way to make things a little. They can find a way to dirty it up a little bit and kind of make things interesting. So we'll see. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's kind of upsetting that's the last college basketball game of the year, but time moves quickly.
Hell of a season.
Yeah, it's been a great season. NCAA tournament has been a lot of fun. Wish we could have gotten the podcast going a little bit earlier in the year, but it
We're
is
here
what
now.
it is.
Yeah, that's all that matters. We're here now.
We got a big slate. We got a lot of good stuff coming at the end of the or during the off season. We're gonna try and get AAU coaches, high school coaches, college coaches, some big college coaches names, even some players maybe, and then some national analysts from guys ranging from ESPN to just a lot of guys. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
We have in store. You
Yeah.
guys will definitely be a fan of it.
Yeah, we don't want to give anything away, but we got a lot coming our way, so stay tuned. Let us know if we can change anything, if you want us to add anything to the show. Just any comments, any criticism you have, just fill us in and we'll be sure to change it. But with that, Tyler, thanks for joining me. Can't wait to watch some hoops tomorrow.
For sure, for sure.
Thank you guys.